Okay, so for this episode, to honor Zaina's birthday, we brought some friends along.
Happy birthday, Zaza!
And they are so happy.
Guys, happy birthday.
So this is the episode about
effective communication. Today we are going to talk about how communication shows up in friendships, in mommyhood, in parenting, and how if you don't effectively communicate, it can affect your relationship with others. So we like to talk about different styles of communication.
yes.
I communicate effectively. I'm an executive assistant in the daytime. It literally is my job. When I'm speaking with friends or my mom or my significant other, whomever, even my children, I sometimes can be long-winded or I can just feel intimidating from what I was told because I like to communicate about everything. Shalisha, on the other hand,
I communicate the exact opposite way. Zaima thoroughly enjoys communicating all day long about everything, 20 times a day. I do not. And those are two different ways to effectively communicate. She feels like her way is effective. I feel like my way is effective. And then we're going to have you guys tell us your styles of communication. And again, nobody's right or nobody's wrong. I mean, I'm a little right, but nobody's right, nobody's wrong. So anybody else want to chime in about how they communicate and what seems effective to you?
I like to hear your tone. I like to, because if you send an exclamation mark to me and it's like getting a little too excited, I feel like, yeah, it's a little different. Like I don't know your energy, so I feel like being on the phone, I'm able to connect with a person and understand their tone and their aura and demeanor at the time, so I can know how to react, because at times I'm one of those people who get extremely defensive. Like I become like, wait, what you said? Like, wait, that text was a little aggressive, but you call a person and they're extremely happy. So that's my best way for me to be on the phone.
Yes.
Just to piggyback off of that, I do agree that texting can sometimes get misconstrued. That's why I don't like, if it's serious, I don't feel like you should text it. But I'm guilty of texting. I am a texter. I'm not a caller. And I will hold something in for so long until I'll be like, I'm just go pull up. I'm gonna just go talk to you in person. Like, so as far as like openly communicating, I'm getting better. I'm getting better for you. I'm getting better. Thank you. You know, I'm getting better. But yeah, I do agree that certain conversations and situations are not appropriate for texting. Phone calls are good, but I do feel like serious stuff, just go talk to that person face to face.
absolutely. Dereja?
Like she said, I'm not so much of a big communicator, but I learned to be over time. I used to hold things in, but I'm learning to think about it and then go communicate.
Right.
Because when you just go communicate, it's just like, hold up, whoa.
Yes.
So I had to really step back, think, even if it's even worth communicating. And then once I feel like, all right, you know what, it's worth it. It's on me heavy. I'm gonna say something. But y'all got the right one. I just be like, hey, go ahead. You know what I mean? But yes, communicating is very important. Especially in the professionalism world, like you gotta communicate. You just gotta communicate.
Absolutely.
So wait, before we go to the next person, that's so important.
Mhm.
Something else that's super important is realizing that you have to communicate differently with different type of situations.
Absolutely.
The way you communicate at work and
totally
the way you
agree.
communicate at home is two different things. That's something me and Zai talk about all the time. I'm like, bro, you talking to me like HR right now. Like, we just talking about going to Trader Joe's. You don't need to. She always says I teach her, but she always HR me. And I'm like, not right now.
I
We
get it.
vibing, you
But
know?
I try to turn it off. I think the thing is, and that's what I wanted to say before I let you guys speak. There was one scenario that Shalisha and I were speaking about that I wanted you all to chime in with. I think that sometimes, for me, being such an effective communicator and dealing with people like Destiny or Deveja who like to hold a lot in, sometimes it will ruffle, not maybe you guys, but someone's feathers, because I'm just being myself. I'm just communicating, and you guys are like, it's feeling like an attack. But I feel like that's something, no attack, but it's something that people who don't effectively communicate need to work on, because I'm just being myself. You understand?
But
How are you
saying
mad
that
for
the
showing
way
up?
you communicate is effective is an opinion.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We have different
Absolutely.
ideas of, that's why we're going around in circles. We have different ideas of what effectively
No,
communicating
I get that. I'm just talking about the scenario that kind
the
of spun the
specific, okay.
conversation. Absolutely. But Go ahead.
I'm a verbal communicator. I like to talk face to face, and I feel like the army basically pulled that out of me 10 times more.
Okay.
Because being an officer and working amongst men, you have to say what you mean and you have to say it with your chest.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of got out of the shell and started to, you got to stand up for yourself. So I like to talk face to face.
Okay. Love that.
I just want face to face as well because I feel like you need to have the ability to have, I would say, adaptive communication. You don't interact with people the same way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't act the same way. I wouldn't interact with Zaima how I interact with you.
Absolutely.
Or you. It's like you have to know you have to know your audience.
Right.
You have to know how to portray it. Like, all right. Even when my job is I have ranges from 27 to 16. I'm not going to 20-year-old hold that shit up. A, B, C, D, F, G.
Right.
So you just have to have that ability to communicate. But with myself, it's always in the moment. If I don't like something or I feel like something's done wrong, I'm never in it. But I feel like it can't happen again.
Right.
And I feel like all my friends know it. So it's like once I just get them to look like. Then when they know, it's just like, all right, I won't do that again.
Right.
Effectively in the spot, just like.
Okay.
Effectively.
Sorry.
Oh, you know I'm not a communicator. I like mind readers. Anybody who can read my mind works perfectly. That's my style.
No. How?
It's our own style. Go ahead. Go, Tori.
Every now and then, Zaima reads my mind.
Absolutely.
She pulls it up out of me, but we love it. I love a mind reader. Other than that,
Yeah, well,
I'm working
you're
on my
psychic?
communication.
Yes, she is. She is.
We're gonna.
She is. You are.
I'm Dion Warwick.
Yeah, move it.
So last.
So for me, communication, everybody's communication is different. Everybody has feelings that they're entitled to, but the way you conduct yourself with those feelings says a lot about you. You could be angry, you could be sad, you could be happy and all that, but just conduct yourself accordingly. With my friendship, with my beautiful friend, happy birthday again, she shows me the effective communication. And a lot of communication has to do with your upbringing. So with my upbringing, we don't talk about it. We sweep it up in the rug until someone laughs about doing the dishes and a dish break or something like that. Then we all talk again. But no one talked about the problem. And this is the first friend I had that she'll sit there and talk about the problem. Okay, so how you feeling? What we feeling? How we gonna do about it? How we gonna effectively communicate this and effectively get it done, execute it this way? You feel hurt, I feel hurt, and we both feel respected. And that's something I love.
Love that.
But you know what? That I appreciate. I mean, I agree with everything you said. But sometimes that can be overwhelming.
Yes.
I'm a person, I deal with a lot of anxiety. I don't want you talking to me about the same thing 57 times. I got stuff happening and it's not that.
But do you feel like
Matt,
something is talked about 57 times?
That's a lot for me.
No, I'm asking
get what
between
Zaima
us. Do you feel like it's something talked about 57 times? Or are you feeling like it's 57 times because of
Right now I
you
feel
being
attacked.
anxious? No attack.
So
I'm just asking.
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because I'm already anxious, if we already talked about something once and you well, sis, but, I mean, you told me that you didn't like it, but, no. And I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
It's them caring for you. It's like, all right, I'm seeing something that you don't see, and I'm seeing it, and I want you to correct it and get over it.
If I'm dealing with something else right now, it's sometimes, for example, me and Zah, we'll fight about the way you cut watermelon. I don't know.
Yes.
If I'm dealing with real life stuff, I don't really want to keep going back and forth about watermelon because
But you
that
know,
ain't my vibe right
But
now.
this is the beauty of it.
Conversation, because
Watch this though.
saying stuff in a conversation that applies to you just don't know unless you listen to the conversation.
Not only that, we talk
I'm sorry,
about
you remember
the
that
same
conversation we had when we was in Target and we sat in Target for 2 hours?
Absolutely.
I was like, girl,
This works for you guys
all of this,
because you
girl.
like to
Right.
have the same type of
No,
communication.
but
For me,
it's
it's like a double thing. So for me, I hate communication. I don't like to communicate. Don't fucking communicate shit with me. I'm sorry, what's wrong?
No,
No,
Don't communicate shit with me. I don't want to communicate shit. I don't want to do none of that shit. Let's just smoke a spliff, take a shot. Let's laugh it off and let's get the fuck out of it. But that was family trauma, how my family dealt with it. But getting my husband, my kids, my friend that actually sits there and be like, no, bitch, you was not okay last week.
Just to piggyback off of what you were saying about having anxiety, from someone who suffers with terrible anxiety, I understand what you're saying. Like when somebody might want to talk about something and you might not want to talk about it, unfortunately for us, when I say us people who have anxiety, we have to learn to manage. And mind you, anxiety is something that there's no cure for it. It's just something that you have to learn to manage every single day, like every second of the day, especially depending on your job or whatever you do during the day. So sometimes we have to learn our friends, we have to learn our family, our children, etc. So if you know that, also the word communication is very subjective.
Yes, yes.
This young lady kept saying, I don't like to communicate. I'd rather relax, smoke a split.
And that's your way of communicating.
But that's a form of communication.
Yep.
It
Yes.
might not be
Yes,
verbal.
you are absolutely right.
It might not be verbal. Hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry.
I
Yes,
wanna-
I'm sorry. You're
Here's what
absolutely
I'm
right.
gonna say.
Communicate.
It might, but it's a form of communication.
Yeah.
So as far as having anxiety, what you have to do, and this is just a tip that I'm going to share with you from someone who has anxiety, you have to read the room. You have to know who you're talking to. So when I'm speaking to Zaima, we've had good, bad, different, intense conversations, arguments, etc. But over the years, I've learned to, and I know she likes to talk about things right at the moment. I don't. So you know what I do? I let her talk about it. I let her say whatever she has to say. But me, a person who has anxiety, who I don't want to fight with my friends. I don't want to fight with my family.
Right.
I don't want to say mean things that can be said in the heat of the moment. So what I do is I let my daughter, I let my whoever get it off their chest. And when I'm in the right mind, in the right mental space to speak about it, when things are calm, because that's the way I like to
Like I said, you
communicate,
gotta think about it. You gotta
then
sit
I speak about it. So before you react, because your anxiety, it wins. It's going to win every
Right.
time. Allow whomever to communicate the way that they can communicate, and then when you gather yourself, then you can communicate your way of effective communication.
Right.
So I totally, everything you said was spot on and so profound. And I agree with it all. So the issue that sometimes somebody like me and Zaima will have is, I'll give her that moment. I'll give her the floor. We'll talk about it. And then, so now I did my part. Because sometimes it's a battle. When you're struggling with anxiety, it's a battle. Because the wheels are rolling. There's so much happening. There's 14 conversations in my head. I don't want to talk about the same thing over and over. So once I give you the floor once, it's unfair to me now as a friend to talk about it again.
Absolutely.
We talked about this. We went down this road. We're not going to agree on everything. I'm still going to love you the same. But how are you being a friend to me now if you're forcing it down my throat again? I gave you the floor. So I was a friend. I gave you what you needed. Now you have to give me what I need.
I feel
Maybe
attacked.
she needed the floor.
I feel attacked.
But if she needs the floor again,
I feel
then that's
attacked.
unfair to me.
I feel
I
attacked.
don't have it to give
I
sometimes.
feel attacked.
like you.
I feel attacked because this is why I feel attacked.
Why? Yeah, why?
Because no, it's not a bad thing.
No.
But this is why, because I'm always the standard for like effectively communicating and like talking. And even the other day, Shalisha and I, we talk a lot. We are partners, we best friends. So we have to communicate a lot, right? But the beauty of it is all these things that people are describing about me, I
The
have
same people like you.
right. But I'm just saying, y'all always link me as like the golden child for it. It's fine, but I feel like I've gotten so much better, and I think
Absolutely.
and I also think that things are so much different now where we don't even argue. We had a spat maybe like 3 weeks ago. And she was like, all right, I gotta call you back.
That was like 2 months ago.
Okay, but watch this.
We don't fight.
I just text her and I made a joke and I let it go. Like, I'm not arguing with my friends at this point. I just think sometimes you have to be held accountable as people. Me, you, whoever. For whatever way you communicate, yes, you have to speak to your friends. You got to know your friends, but be held accountable for your own shit too. Sometimes it's not even me. It's you. You know what I'm saying? It's not me.
But if you tell me that it's me the first time, you don't have to tell me the second time, the third time, the fourth time.
No.
Get it out that first
But that's why I feel like
conversation.
it's like y'all don't know each other then. It's like y'all don't know. It's not adaptive communication. Like,
Is there
like,
any
you're
other
talking to
communicators in
someone.
the room besides Zaima though? Like, is she the only communicator?
That's what
No,
I'm saying.
Celeste is
No,
not a communicator.
I think
I said I am.
But I
I mean, like, Zaima
she expresses her feelings, she will call you and be like, "Listen, this is how I feel. It's been on my mind. I gotta tell you, right?"
But think about it. That's why we're all here.
That's what I'm saying. But is she the only one though that can be?
And I show up. I know how to communicate. I communicate on the phone. Like I'm just a person that
You like to talk.
yes, and not. But beyond that, I like to hear.
No, she does.
I like to hear.
Okay.
No. But beyond that,
Okay.
I also I need to hear how the other person is feeling.
Yes.
I don't just need to hear
Okay,
that.
so you're a communicator. You tell how you
Very
feel.
much.
Okay,
Oh
so
my God.
alright.
I will overly tell you how I feel.
But this is another one of my best friends, and sometimes I'll tell Coco too. Not right now. Like it's not just Zon.
No,
but
I
I feel like if it's too much, you gotta understand when it's too much for somebody. And I get right now this is too much for me. Okay. Because I'm still talking.
Go ahead.
You know? So you gotta respect everybody in the room. We all communicate different. We all going through different things. There's so much happening that I get that it's heavy on your chest, but what about what's heavy on my chest? We talked about it. I gave you the floor. You cannot keep having the floor.
I feel like if we really know each other, how is it too much?
Thank you. That's what I was about to get to. So right now, perfect example.
How is it too much?
It's too much sometimes.
Yes.
We know each other. Really know each other.
Okay.
If we know each other, how is it too much?
And accept each
It's
other.
a lot.
And let each other
I don't want to cover, but I guess it's also the timing. Like, like for example, I'm a person. Wait, no, give me.
You may not see it. It's a
Wait. No, but give me 2 seconds. No, like I'm a person that I like. When I need something to get off my chest, I have to call right now, right there. I got to tell you what's going on,
But
right?
that's not fair.
But at the same time, what I've learned now is also before when I call my ex, how was your day first? That's number one.
Absolutely.
Because now I know what I'm going. If I can.
If I can dump on
If I can, because now that I know, goes back to you saying you got to know the person. So now my way is just keeping it general with everybody. How you feeling today? Once that person expressed that mood, I'm gonna change the conversation. If you explain to me today was a really hard day for me, I'm not even gonna dump nothing on you right now because that's me putting my shit on you, and that's not fair to you at the moment. Now, if I call you 2 days later and I say, "How you feeling today?" Or we just had, because adults, we all have our own brains, so like our own lives, just, scattered. So now I call you 2 days later. How you feeling today? Oh, today I'm good. Today work. I got a little sip after work, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Bitch, let me tell you what happened. My mood, now also my story might be different because them 2 days went past and whatever shit I was holding on, I could be able to express it to my friend completely.
That's why you
like
gotta
a little
give it time.
And now you only have to say it once. You don't have to.
So I'm not
keep
saying
saying
that.
You have to give it
But
time.
I be feeling like people so quick to just tell you how the fuck they feel without trying to understand. And we are like I hate to keep repeating it, like being repetitive, but it's the truth. We are adults. We're going through our own shit. Let me tell you something. It's times I don't get sleep for hours. I have a 4-month-old. At a moment, I don't want to hear about you and your nigga. Like I love you to death, but right now I can't sleep. Give me and I'm gonna effectively communicate and tell you that, yo, bro, I didn't get no sleep. Can I call you back tomorrow? Can we speak a little later? Because I got shit going on. I don't have to be specific. That's another thing. People expect you to give too much. I don't have to tell you that. You know I got a 4-month-old. I don't have to talk about that.
And that you keep saying, how are you friends if you don't know each other? The way I know her, she gotta know me. So the way that I understand she gotta get it off her chest, the way I understand she has a 4-month-old, the way I understand that she's the only child, sometimes my girl might be a little bit of a brat. She just says she's a nurse. They got shit happening. I cannot say, I don't like the way you make me feel 10,000 times.
But that's what I said. It's like, for me, I don't think you
do.
But when somebody asks me how you doing, baby, they're talking for 2 hours. They're talking for 2 hours.
But here's my thing.
Like,
Let's collectively say this because there's a lot of things we can talk about in regards to communication. At this age, we are all in our 30s in this room, right?
No.
Not me.
As I'm only 22. Well, okay. We are all of age, I would say, right? Wait, let's bring it back, guys. We're all of age to the point where this is what I want to say. You have to think about this, and this is for the viewers too. Think about this. At this day and age, given the current circumstances of the world, given what we just said about everybody going through stuff, can you honestly, this is a beautiful topic, right? But can you honestly say that you go through a lot in your life with your friends at this point. Like when I'm talking to y'all,
sometimes I do.
Yes, you do.
that for me, maybe I'm lacking self-awareness or maybe I'm just not seeing it. I don't really go. Y'all, all my friends in this room, I don't really argue with anybody. You might make me feel away. I might talk a little shit, but it's never going to be to the point where at this age, for me, that I'm dumping. My youngest is a young thug. Like, Zakai is off the chain. I don't really have no time for y'all and all the cultivation. I don't have no, if it's no room for like good stuff, I really don't have time for it. You could dump on me, but I'm not projecting anything on you at this age. And just to bring it back to being moms for the parents or caregivers or whoever is just really taking care of things, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear about your day, but you really want to spat with me? And like, people are backed up on bills, backed up on rent. Jobs just paying
$20.
Eggs are definitely lying.
Yeah.
ridiculous. I'm just scraping to get by as a mama.
My new
You
motto
think I
is-
want to talk about it? Absolutely.
Like you said, we're all in our 30s. At this age, I think we all
We are
can.
not in our all
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm
So
sorry.
we all in their 40s.
We're at this big age. I think we all can appreciate communication, though. Because there's no way you walking around at this age and ain't nobody just saying nothing.
I agree.
It's something
I'm never not
wrong.
gonna
So
say
that's
that.
to be okay. So let's just clarify that. Something wrong if you can walk around at this age.
How they do it?
No, but wait, 1 second. Let's clarify. The thing is not that we're not
effective.
No, the issue here is that we all consider effective communication different things.
Right.
It doesn't mean that we're not communicating. It just means that it's different from.
So let me say it that I appreciate Zah communication at this age. When I was in my 20s, I was like, yo, Zah be wildin'. I can't. But now I be like, you right, sis. Hold up. I need accountability.
And I was just like, think about how far we came from
Yeah,
being so
there you
young.
go.
When I was young, I was like, fuck out of here, man.
Yo, Zah used to have me on the phone. I used to be like, yo, Zah be wildin', man. I don't even know what's. But now I'm like, nah. My sister's right. Let me talk to her. Wait, we communicate. So now I appreciate Zah communication a lot more in my 30s. A lot more. I'm gonna just say that.
Zaima's way of, and I'm only saying you because when the young lady was, I'm sorry, Shalisha, when she was saying the way you guys communicate, I only brought up our communication barriers that we've had in the past. Today, present day, it's amazing. But even if it took a turn, I know that we could
Bounce back.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the fact that you hold people accountable. I appreciate that because there are times that I might not want to be accountable at that moment.
It's a mirror.
And
You're like,
even if we don't talk about it in that moment, I have a chance to think about it, to process it,
Right.
and then circle back like, you know what? You were right. But I do appreciate that you hold people accountable
Right.
in that moment. And I like that.
But sometimes accountability too, it's because you think I'm wrong, because you don't agree with how I'm moving, it doesn't make me wrong. It means that's
But wait.
more. So accountability is about taking ownership for what you did. If I don't feel like what I did was wrong because we just moved different ways, right back to, and I'm only talking about Zah because it's her birthday. She got on this gold suit and she's shining. But what I mean about stuff like even showing up for people, the way Zah want me to show up for her sometimes. This is not our issue at all. I'm just speaking it. I can't. So I can't be held accountable for something I can't do. If I'm not capable of it, how are you holding me accountable for it? I'm not capable of it. So because you want me to be capable of it, I'm not taking ownership or accountability for anything that I'm not capable of. So that is something that people have to deal with.
Accountability has to do with self. It doesn't have to do with anybody else. So you being accountable has to do with
This is our
self,
therapist,
not
yeah.
anybody else, right? So even in a friendship, in a relationship, you guys are constantly growing. You're constantly evolving as two individuals. And so as you evolve, so does your friendship evolve. So while you're in different seasons of your life, you may not understand where your friend is at in that particular season, but you open your ears and get to understand what they're saying. Digest it and then come back and then give your rebuttal. You don't always have to give your rebuttal right there in that moment, right? It's okay to sit on your thought. And I heard y'all kept saying something about anxiety. Dealing with anxiety is very tricky. First, let's be diagnosed to say that we have it.
Exactly.
I've been diagnosed.
I'm married.
Now,
I would clean the
so
house.
And in my ad room.
once we do that, now we have to find what are our triggers.
But that's the thing.
So if your conversations with her is a trigger for you, you know that certain topics you have to stop.
Yes.
So now, as a therapist,
Yes.
when you, as my friend, and honestly, and I just want to say this on camera, Eric, me and Simon don't have these issues. We just fucking a convo.
We don't.
But as my
We
friend,
used to.
if you know my triggers, how am I respecting your triggers, but you're not respecting mine? That's not okay. And I feel like, I don't know if it's because it's her birthday or because she got this shiny suit on, but so many people are like, well, you gotta hear her out. Well, she has to hear me out. Even if my thoughts are silent, if I'm saying this is too much, can you give me a moment? Can you stop? We already talked about it. Those are my triggers, and you're not respecting me.
Now, can I say something? So this is the issue that I have with people that think like that. You want me to respect those things. However, if we already know who we are, we shouldn't even be having these sort of discussions.
But me listening to you the first time is us meeting in the middle. Because even the first time hearing this conversation, sometimes my head is like this. And I'm listening, I'm stopping, and I'm like, I know she needs this. And it literally in my brain, I'm like, I know she needs this. I know she needs this. I know she needs this. So for you to do it 3 or 4 times,
it's just sickening.
Now we're not meeting in the middle.
No,
Let
me just say one last thing.
Triggers.
You have
Forces you to grow. Forces you to grow up. Forces you to grow up.
I'm not gonna force. That's not fair.
Are relative. You know why? Because this is one thing I'm gonna say. And we got about 5 minutes till we wrap up. I'm gonna say this. I've had this issue with a lot of friends. If I'm ruffling your feathers because of being who I am, that's a you thing. That's not a me thing. You gotta work on it.
But if you my friend and something is a you thing, you meet me in the middle. The same way stuff that you bothers me, I'm gonna meet you in the middle. Yeah. So I feel like the people that love to talk, the ones that like to hear themselves talk, y'all gonna naturally agree with what she's saying. But
I don't always like to hear myself
a lot of people. You see what I mean? I can't get a word in. But the people like me, when you have 10 conversations in your head, y'all want me to meet her in the middle, but y'all not meeting me in the middle. So I'm not saying that see, like right now, this is too much for me because I'm talking, she's talking. That's not meeting me in the middle. But if I'm willing to meet you where you at, oh my God, don't get that spit. If I'm willing to meet you where you at, you kind of got to meet me where I'm at. Which means, and again, this is not a personal thing. Like we don't deal with this. But if she needs to talk about something, I can listen to it once, maybe twice. It's unfair to me for her to want to talk about it 4 times. That's not
anyone. Let's change it.
Yeah, in general. If somebody is willing and it's hard for them, and this is physically and mentally hard for me to hear somebody talk about the same thing over and over. I'm trying my best. I'm showing up for you as a friend.
Right.
People cutting me off, that's hard for me. I'll lose my train of thought. If you keep doing it, you're not meeting me where I'm at. I'm not going to talk the whole time, so you don't have to cut me off. But if you keep doing it, how are you helping me? So I'm helping you, but you in no way, shape, or form are showing up for me. That's not a friend. That's not effective communication for me. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she can't talk about it. Me and Zai was sitting on the phone for literally 24 hours. And we
I feel like, so this is for the room. You have to know your friendships too, right? I have an issue with cutting people off. It's just who I am. I forget things. So even with our first episode, I was like, damn, I need to will it back a little bit and let Shalisha talk because I kept talking over her.
And y'all ain't even see the edits.
Right. So I got this cute thing. I'm like, oh my God, I need to talk. But I do this with my sisters. I do this to everybody, right? But I just feel like to piggyback off of that, I think that sometimes what I'm learning to do is, and this is for the viewers as well, you have to take a step back in certain friendships and say, hey, if she can't listen to or he can't listen to repetitively talking about something and dumping, if I'm backed up on my rent or my kids are sick, I don't want to hear about you and your man arguing. I don't really want to hear about your day. Sometimes me, Miss Talker, I don't pick up the phone now. I talk all day at work. I gotta smile. I gotta adhere to them.
Yes.
Deal with their travel. Deal with this.
I'm like,
then I gotta come home to my children. Then I gotta hear about their day with their babysitter. I'll be burnt out by 8 o'clock. It's unfair to me if I'm telling you that as a friend. I agree to continuously. Well, girl, let me tell you about this and let me tell you about that. And another thing is that I learned as an oversharer, and we talked about this on the first episode, but also as someone who continuously just wants to talk sometimes, I'll read a room. I have a sister who don't talk at all. Sometimes if I call her just crying, what happened? And we'll talk then, right? But on a regular day, she got 5 kids. I got 2 sisters, got 5 kids. I'm not calling them with no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not calling you.
And that's to meet her in the middle. That's how you meet her in the middle. If I called you on Monday about something, that's unfair. No, you don't. She don't want to be on camera.
But even your friends,
Right.
Even your
But I'm just saying, some stuff I just won't even at this point bring to you, especially in the. I've learned and grown in when you keep dumping negative things, whether it be about a person or a thing, your mind literally tricks you to continuously be negative. So at this point, sometimes it be me. So let me take a step back. Let's talk about something else because I don't need to keep bringing this to you. You know the beginning, middle, and ending. It's over with that. I don't need to keep bringing that up at this point in my life. But some people do.
To piggyback off of everybody, what everybody was saying, my biggest word for the year 2025 is grace. I feel like you have to give yourself grace. You have to give everybody around you grace. And just like y'all was saying, well, if you know your friends, why is it like you can know your friends, but like your friend might be in a season. She can't give you that.
Well, my word for the year is reciprocity. Because if I gotta give you grace,
But
I need that too.
we just spoke about
That's
that.
okay. So back to communication. Destiny, finish your thought, honey.
So my thing is grace. Like your friend might be in a season, you might be in another season.
That was
You just don't know what somebody's going through. But at the same time, like I said, when we was younger, it was like, oh fuck that, it's not me, all that. But we're getting older now. It's
Yes, we are.
different. Like you think different, you move different.
Yes,
Everything is
like
different.
everything is not about you.
Absolutely.
You
not.
have to step back.
swallow.
No, but you know what? No, you know what? Eric, you don't care about me today. Back to motherhood. Something that I teach my girls every day. No shade. I've never loved anybody the way I love them.
Right.
But I tell them every day and every morning, you are my world. You are daddy's world. You are grandma's world. But when you go out into the world, people don't have to fold for you.
Absolutely.
You are not their world. Like, it does not revolve around you. There's so much life happening around you, and you got to learn to maneuver. Yeah. Because just because you're the queen of this castle, you gonna go to another castle. There's a different queen.
I feel like you're on the highway, but you have to merge. If you merge,
no, see, I don't teach my. Some people don't have to merge, and they even be sitting there mad at you, or they're not letting you merge.
I don't merge. I fly right over. I'm
Yes, I feel like as far as communication, sometimes y'all know we don't listen to understand.
Yeah.
We just automatically respond. We just get defensive automatically. When it's like, I'm not even coming at you like that. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel.
Right.
But instead of me and that's why I hold stuff in. Because instead of me just going straight, it could go left. Right. We could just, it went left. But if I sleep on it and I'm holding it in, and I'm like, let me think about it. Let me calm down first. Was it me? Am I wrong? Nah. Did she do that like that? But it's just, like I said, grace. It all boils down to grace.
Amen.
So wait, just for fun, while we in this, the people who gave their opinions, let's just give our sign. Because I love horoscope. So, hey everybody, I'm a Gemini. And I feel and I feel like I don't like over communication.
Hey, I'm a Pisces, and I like to communicate right on time. I read the room.
Hey, I'm an Aries, and I like to communicate.
Ooh, you're Aries.
I'm a Virgo. I'm a perfectionist. I need a whole pie chart. I need a whole.
So I'm a Libra. I like balance. The same way you don't have effective communication, you gotta leave people alone and everything. It's gotta be a right balance. Talk when you need to talk, and shut up when you need to shut up.
Period.
I'm a Scorpio, and I love people who read minds, especially mine.
It's like a commercial.
I'm a Virgo. I'd rather not communicate.
Hey, I'm September or August Virgo?
I'm September. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta have a meeting with the
Off
Virgos.
topic.
I'm a Virgo. I don't really want to talk until it gets there, but we don't have to.
We're gonna have a meeting with the Virgos.
I am a Leo, and I'm a talk. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna run the jungle.
You gonna roar.
We want to give y'all a round of applause and say thank you for being guests on our podcast.
And what we need to say is that we did not tell them that they would be guests on our
It's a
podcast.
surprise.
We gave them a little surprise for Zion's
We're about to
birthday.
start our
Happy birthday,
Make sure you like and subscribe and share. We want to say thank you. How do you show up? how do you communicate? That's a wrap.
Yes, it's a wrap.
Thank y'all.
Let's get an icebreaker. The game is going to be your name, what you do for a living, and a fun fact about you. And I'm going to go first.
Okay.
My name is Kaylin.
Hey, Kaylin.
With a Q, not a C or a K. I am a store manager. Can't say what store. Fun fact about me is love to travel, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to Puerto Rico next week. Now I'm trying to take it by myself. Like,
Yeah.
from Puerto Rico.
Solo traveling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
Love that.
My name is Yasmin. Everybody calls me Yas. I'm a therapist. A fun fact about me is that I'm really goofy. Like, a lot of people don't know that because I have a serious profession, but I'm super goofy.
I love that.
Hey, yes.
Me? Okay, my name is Devasia. I'm a licensed practical nurse. A fun fact about me is that I get drunk in the motherfucker still.
Am I laughing at you?
I'm not sick today.
My name is Dominique. I'm an Army veteran, and I'm from one of the most historic cities in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina.
I'm Tareen. Tareen, all of the above. Fun fact about me is I'm also Alexis on some days. It's Alexis. That's all. Let's go.
My name is Ponte. Fun fact about me is nothing really. I keep everybody's secrets. That's the fun fact about me.
Hello, my name is Corvette, aka Coco. I'm a new mom. Yes, I don't look like it. 4 months postpartum, you know. Okay, no. I'm a social worker, and a fun fact about me is that I'm me. Literally. That's it. That's the T.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Samara. I'm a health plan manager, and fun fact about me, I'm like super shy.
My name is Destiny, also known as Des. I am a school safety agent, and fun fact about me, I'm also an author of urban children's books.
My name is Tanisha. I'm a surgical scheduler, and a fun fact about me is I still watch all the 90s sitcom shows every single day.
We love that.
Hi, I'm Whitney. I'm an office coordinator for Cancer Hospital, and I'm mad funny. Period.
That's it. She got straight to the point.
Sorry.
Hi, my name is Carla. I'm a special education teacher in the Bronx. What was it? Fun fact? What's next?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, I can't think of one.
Working in the Bronx. That's a fun fact.
Yes, yes.
A survivor.
Okay. She said it.
And fun fact, I climbed Dunn's River Fall in Jamaica 4 times.
Wow. Hello, my name is Celeste. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I also babysit my other sons, which is her sons. And fun fact about me, I like arts and crafts.
My name is Zaima. Everyone calls me Zaza. Today is my party with all these wonderful people. And a fun fact about me is, in another lifetime, I would have been a comedian. I like to make people laugh.
Oh, yeah.
And my name is Shalisha. I'm an operations manager at a preschool. And a fun fact about me is I'm a Gemini with Gemini twins. I think everybody knows that, but it's like my greatest accomplishment.